Okay, we're on. Hello, this is Paul Fisher doing a live broadcast for TBC. That stands for the Billion Coin. It's a cryptocurrency that's been out for 2 years. And we are about to migrate our coin from the old blockchain 1.0 to a brand new, super fast, seriously, we're going to skip 2.0 and go straight to 3.0 blockchain platform that will enable us to do thousands of transactions per second, just like Visa and MasterCard can, maybe even faster. And we'll be able to do transactions right there at the register, okay, with our phones. QR code flash in, and we're out of there. This is huge, okay, because not even Bitcoin can do this. And Bitcoin is the most popular coin because it's been out the longest and more people are familiar with it. But the Billion coin is different and has been for its whole 2-year history, because we're not putting our coin on a trading exchange where Bitcoin was put on, and all these other cryptocurrency coins that have come have put themselves on the trading exchange. Okay, why? I don't know. Most likely greed. Okay, that's the bottom line. You can bring out a coin and like an ICO, initial coin offering, and sell it real cheap and promise the people that buy it that, hey, as soon as it goes on the trading exchange, it's going to double. So you're going to double your money. Okay. And if it actually does, if it's not a scam, which you don't know until you do a lot of research on who's behind the coin, the ICO coin, if it does get on the trading exchanges, it almost always will at least double right away. And then it will start to fluctuate. It's risky, but that's what markets are. They go up and down because they can be manipulated by the wealthy. Okay, so, but today I want to explain a couple of things. First of all, what we are doing, because we are migrating to this amazing blockchain platform. We're taking our entire membership. Now, you don't hear that in cryptocurrency, do you? Membership? Does Bitcoin have a membership? No. There's no way to know exactly how many people have Bitcoin in a wallet. Okay, the latest estimate I can find is about 12 million people. 12 million. Out of 7.5 billion people on the earth, they only have 12 million people after 8 years. But that's understandable because it was so new at the time. Blockchain platform encryption, open source was so new at the time that people like myself who found out about it in 2011 couldn't understand it. The main masses of people didn't want to even go there because it just seemed so crazy. You know, internet money? What is internet money? But as we all know now, it's real. Not only is it real, it's the absolute future. Okay, so it's come a long ways. And the point is, with being so anonymous like Bitcoin is, I mean, we know who the owner is of Litecoin. We know who the owners are of Ethereum and other coins, but we don't know for sure who Bitcoin owner is. We just know he comes as a name, Satoshi Nakamoto. But nobody knows who he is. He stayed in the background. He doesn't want anybody to know who he is. The point is, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because if you're on a blockchain platform that's encrypted, which it is encrypted, it's anonymous, meaning that it's completely decentralized. All people can do is go in and see the transaction code to know that, yeah, there's been a transaction, but there's no way of knowing who transacted on either side. Okay, it's private, 100% private. That's what is attracting people, because privacy equals freedom. And people are just naturally drawn to freedom. It's a passion of mine. This is why I'm here, because we started doing this 24/7 live presence broadcast on YouTube starting on our 2nd year anniversary, which was March 21st. So, and it took me 16 days, I think, before I started, okay? Because I didn't know anything about YouTube live broadcast. I had never imagined myself doing something like this. So with my schedule the way it is, it took me a while to learn and to convince myself that I could do this. And I don't know why I had to convince myself, because I can't shut up about it. Because over the year, and I've only been involved a full year, I have seen so much and learned so much, and I knew about cryptocurrency before I found the Billion Coin. But when I found the Billion Coin, it was a good thing I knew about Bitcoin and how the trading exchanges worked, because when I found the Billion Coin, I immediately recognized what it was and the difference of what it was creating and what it could do by being like half decentralized and half centralized. What I want to do is I want to clear something up, because this is another part of what makes the Billion Coin different. Because we are partially centralized, we have control, because the value of our coin is not based on trading on a market exchange. It's based on an algorithm that puts its value on you and I, people. Okay, so every person that joins our community, and I mean free, raises the value of our coin, our full coin, by €1. So I believe we started out with 171 people, March 21st, 2016. And a year later, and I got involved like a week after a year later, okay, we had a little over 97,000 members in that first year. Just word of mouth, okay? Just word of mouth. 97,000. So the price of our full coin went up to 97,000 euros per coin, okay? It became almost impossible for people to buy a full coin. But if you know about cryptocurrency, you can divide it by 100 million times. In fact, you can divide it even more in reality. Okay, but 100 million is what is basically based on, you can divide it, not 100 pennies like you can a dollar, but 100 million times. So anybody can own Kringles, is what we call a divisional part of our Billion Coin. Like in the Bitcoin, Satoshi is what is called for a divisional fraction piece of a Bitcoin. A Bitcoin now around 8,000 something dollars. A lot of people can't afford even a full Bitcoin, but they can afford some Satoshi. You could buy 10 cents worth of Satoshi. You see what I'm saying? So that's another great thing about cryptocurrency. So when I got involved, that's the way it was. It was less than 100,000, or it was like 100, just right around 100, 105,000 members. Okay, so last year, well, the last 12 months, it grew from 100,000 to 3 million. Okay, so we increased by 30 times in 1 year. Why? Why did we do that when last year was so troublesome for the entire cryptocurrency industry? Because that blockchain that all of our coins are based on got bogged down, okay? So many transactions were going down because of the trading exchanges, not peer-to-peer, which is what was happening before they put it on the trading exchanges. People were just using it peer-to-peer. Hey, you want some cryptocurrency? Will you accept it? Will you accept Bitcoin? You know, I'll buy this from you, or, you know, for Bitcoin. You know, it's going to continue to go up in price because, you know, supply and demand. we're only making 21 million coins. They talked to people, and people were making transactions peer-to-peer. Then it got put on a trading exchange, and those transactions just blew up, right? Because everybody's trading now. And every time a trade goes by, that's a transaction that the blockchain and all the miners that are out there controlling these things all over the world are having to transact. And so the system got bogged down so bad. At one point, it was taking like 3 weeks for one transaction to go and get finished, from a purchaser to from a buyer to a seller. So it was pretty bad. In fact, blockchain had to fork twice. One was in August last year, and they came out with another new coin called Bitcoin Cash. That's all they can do, because if the owner had kept some control, he could come back in and create a new blockchain and move everything over. But I don't think that can happen now, because the miners have control, and that's what makes it completely anonymous. And it's a good thing. It's just that it limits the coin. So we see now what's going on, that people are aware of this. And so then when they're creating these new cryptocurrencies and they're thinking about, hey, let's do something different. And it's like, well, anyway, let me just say this. They're using new technology. Okay, you know how technology always increases every year. It always gets better. So now we have the opportunity, and for the last 6, 7, 8 months, we have been building from scratch a brand new blockchain platform that is unbelievably fast. Okay, it will change the whole dynamics of the cryptocurrency industry. Okay, it's so good that another major player in the messaging service, private messaging, chatting service, it's called Telegram, is going to come out with their algorithm-based coin, cryptocurrency. It'll be out, they say, in April of 2019, so a year from now. But people who have been in the industry long enough, investors in these things, realize what is different about the Billion coin and about another coin from Telegram that's not ever going to be, hopefully, it's not ever going to be on a trading exchange. Their algorithm is different. Our algorithm is built on people, right? Every person that comes in increases the value of the coin. So our purpose, being it's called the Billion coin, is to get to our first billion members. Okay, now you don't hear that. Let me explain what it is. I'm going off in all these different directions, but I'll try to pull it all back together. And this is what makes us different. But so it's hard for people that are so not familiar to hearing those words. It kind of freaks them out and scares them. Well, why are they calling us members? Why are they calling this a community? Well, it's because we're set up differently. It's not so anonymous that we just don't know who even owns Bitcoin. If we were like Satoshi Nakamoto himself, he doesn't know who owns Bitcoin. He doesn't even know how many. All he can do is guess, like everybody else can, by looking at, the transactions in Bitcoin and going onto the blockchain platform and trying to figure out, get a good estimate. Okay, good estimate lately is 12 million. Okay, that's a very small community. Okay, but it's not really a community because nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows if somebody else has it. And we can do it differently with still remaining anonymous. But that small control that we have makes all the difference in the world. We have combined the best of both worlds is what we've done. So we use different terminology. And it kind of freaks people out because it's terminology that mostly was used or is used in the multi-level marketing industry, the network marketing industry. And that freaks people out because people have had so many bad experiences with the multi-level marketing industry. So they hear something that we use, a term we use, and it relates to that industry. And so they think, what, is this a multi-level? Well, no, it's not. It's a cryptocurrency. How can it be multi-level? It's a cryptocurrency. It's a coin like Bitcoin. Okay, but we use that terminology because we have just enough control that we can not only control and prevent people from discounting our coin, but we can also control how we distribute the wealth out. In other words, with normal cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, the wealthy can come in and buy all they want because they've got the money, right? They can buy all the coins they want. There's only so many coins ever going to be mined, 21 million. Over 16 million have already been mined. Okay, so they can buy as many of those up. And if they own them, then they've got the wealth of Bitcoin. And then what they do, because it's on a trading exchange, is they'll sell. When it gets up high, they'll sell. The normal people, masses that are not educated enough, or they're just gambling, they're gamblers, will lose. They'll sell. Okay, they'll put their coins back into the trading industry, the system, the atmosphere. Okay, and the rich will buy those up at a low price. Every time they do that, they pick up more coin from you. If you're just one of those gamblers that want to try to make a little bit of money on it, like an investment, I'll buy it here at this price. I know it's going to go up because look, it's going up, it's going up, it's going up every day. I'll buy some, and then when it goes up, and I made 30-40% on my money, I'll sell it, and that's fine. If that works and you're on top of things, it can happen, but it can go down so fast. It can go down just like that. In that 30 minutes, it can flash down by 40%. We've seen it. Okay, so it's always a real risk, just like stock markets are. The stock market, anything on a market is risky. We've seen what's happened with money, pension funds, everything that we have is based on the stock market. When the stock market crashes, we lose. I just know so many people who have lost their retirement. Even the IRAs, even your IRA is based on stock. Okay, but people don't want to even think about it. They don't want to think about it. They don't want to stay on top of what's going on. They don't even look at their IRA papers. It's there. It's over there in the drawer, but I'm not looking at it. I just hope to God that it's there when I retire, and everything's going to go on peachy keen. And meanwhile, they have no clue because they're not paying attention, or they do, but they just put it into a part of their brain. And there's nothing wrong with this. I mean, there is in a sense, but it's nothing we can help because we are human, and we don't want to see anything that's bad. We don't want to see it. We know there's bad things happening in the world, but we don't want to see it. We want to see the good stuff. We want to feel good. Okay? So it's just natural for people to do that, and I don't blame them. And it's sad because if something bad happens, they do lose. And I can't tell you how many people I know who have lost their retirement fund, lost it back in 2008, and they had to put their home up on one of those reverse mortgages. Okay, so anyway. So the terminology you're going to hear, and I'm going to tell you what the terminology is and explain to you it's not network marketing, okay? It's just that because we are a community, because we have partial control, we use these terms, okay? First of all, we're giving the coin away for free. Because obviously, if it's based on membership, every person that has a piece of our coin increases our value and gets us up to that first billion people that we want. Okay, which will max out that price of that coin at 1 billion euros. It will never get higher than that. Okay, but with a billion people that own the coin, very, very spread out. There's not going to be one person with massive amount and then all the rest of us with little tiny amounts. Okay, that's what happens with any cryptocurrency that comes out if it's not abundant based. Okay, that will happen because it gets put on the trading exchange and people can buy it up, the rich, and then leave a little bit of the coin left for the poor. Okay, and still stay in control of the wealth. It's what the central banking system's doing because they're so scared, and you can see it in the news. If you just look, everywhere you see, they're demonizing cryptocurrency. The banks are demonizing cryptocurrency. Why? Because they know if people go over to cryptocurrency, they've lost their control on the people. If people aren't using the Federal Reserve note / US dollar, what are they going to do? They're over. They've lost. And they see the fight that's going on right now because here in America, Trump and patriots are fighting that system with everything we got. It's the reason we brought Trump in. Okay, we're fed up. We're fed up. We haven't had a president that's been for a change in our economy and getting rid of the debt-based system since John F. Kennedy. And we saw what happened with John F. Kennedy. So now we have another chance. And it's amazing what we're getting done. And the deep state is running scared. They're panicking. The central banking system is right there. You can call them both the same in a sense. The deep state is just a term they came up with to talk about the intelligence community of the world, mainly the CIA. Okay, and then the central banking system is the Federal Reserve banks and how they've ended up controlling all the banks, mostly. But you also see what's happening in the world with the US dollar and with countries that are changing and switching over to cryptocurrency. It's going down. And they're getting off the US dollar. Russia is already done with the US dollar. Okay, that's why Russia is demonized as our enemy, which I talked about yesterday. It's insane. It's insane. Okay, but we do see things changing, even though we don't maybe know or realize how did that change. And so, you know, and the mainstream media is not going to talk about it. Okay, the corporate media is owned by the deep state, is not going to talk about it, but we can see with our own eyes what happened with North Korea. We were going to war, right? That's what they were telling us. We're going to war, World War III with North Korea, nuclear war. It's over, folks. Russia's going to get involved with it. It never happened. Okay. Now what's going on? Okay, South Korea is turned off their speakers. You know, they've been having these speakers that go out and blast out there in the demilitarized zone into North Korea again, or whatever. And then North Korea turns around and is blasting their speakers back. So South Korea is kind of the point with, hey, you know, things are changing here. We're going to keep your speakers on if you want in North Korea. And we're turning ours off. This is silly. Well, I do believe yesterday, and I'm not positive about this, but I do believe that North Korea turned theirs off. Okay. So we're all talking. Okay. Russia, China, South Korea, and Trump is talking with Kim. Okay. And we're creating peace. Okay. They're already talking. Kim's already talking about denuclearization of this country. Okay. The deep state has been kicked out and we've created peace. That's the bottom line. Okay. It's still in that process, but that's where it's going. You certainly don't hear anything about North Korean war anymore, do you? It's not happening. Instead, they're concentrating now on giving us crap from Syria, where we have U.S. troops actually on the ground. We got to get them out. That's why we send our USS Truman over there to get our soldiers back. Okay? We did this missile launch and hit a supposed chemical weapons building. Of course, there was no chemicals there, and there was nobody there. Nobody got killed. And there was no chemicals there because it would have blown a huge poisonous gas cloud of bleach or chlorine, and sarin into the air and wiped out a bunch of people. Okay? Common sense. Instead, who knows what was there? Okay? Who knows who really got hurt over in North Korea the other day? Well, not the other day. Didn't it happen back in October? What we're just finding out about it now, I think, is this collapse of the tunnel system. They're calling it, the stressed mountain theory or whatever they call it, where there's so many tunnels and stuff, it just kind of caves in. And supposedly 200 people were killed or whatever. We don't really know what's going on with that, right? But there's just two basically theories. Either it's real and it really happened just like our corporate media is telling us, or something different happened at that time. And it was a target. Okay? Because you're seeing it happening in Syria. Okay, it's obvious. Russia's protecting this zone that was supposedly gassed. The OPCW is over there working with Russia and finding out all the truth, that there was none. There was no gas attack. They're coming out with the actors that they paid to act like they were sick. We found out that there was a huge dust storm that night, and it was literally going into the cellars where the people were living, and they couldn't breathe. So they were being treated at hospitals for oxygen depletion. And the corporate, the deep state made it look like, it was Assad, because they want Assad out of there, because Assad's a good man and he's not in control of the deep state. The deep state doesn't have any control of him. So they make it look like Assad's a bad guy. And he's gassing his people, just like they did with Saddam, but Saddam was a bad guy. Okay, there's a difference. Okay, but Assad has been working with Trump, okay, been working with the Russians, been working with the Iranians, and they're getting rid of ISIS. Who's ISIS? ISIS is the deep state. It's the CIA. The terrorist group, Al-Qaeda, that's all deep state, central banking system. They use these organizations, they hire them, they fund them to create war and terror around the world so they can keep their war machine going. Isn't that what they want? They want our soldiers to stay in Syria, And anybody who's part of that system politically worldwide in a leadership position who is in the deep state and saying, hey, keep your troops there, America, come on. There's bad things happening over there. We got to fight. We got to fight and win this ISIS, but we're not. We're doing the exact opposite. And here's the thing that's interesting. And I thought about this the other day, because we hear so much about, well, the U.S. is this, the U.S. is that, the U.S. is doing this, the U.S. is doing that. Well, it's not the U.S. people that are doing it. It's the U.S. government who are controlled, the politicians in the system controlled by the deep state, which is right here in America. And they're in a lot of other places. Okay, but they're big time here in America. Huge, humongous in the UK. Okay, so we hear this and people say, well, we hate America because America just goes all over the world and causes war. Well, that's not the American people. We have no control of that. None. And the patriots are sick of it. It is the deep state that they are referring to, and since the deep state came out of, is the main country to come out of is America. Then they demonize America. And they say it's the U.S. doing this, doing that, doing this. It's almost like we're fighting internally. We have the U.S. patriots fighting the U.S. deep state devils. Okay, so that is something we need to think about, because when we hear good things or bad things about the U.S. of A., we need to say, okay, what are they saying? Okay, what is really good and what is really good and what is really good? Does that make sense? So we know that the U.S. people, the patriots, are freedom-loving, good individuals. Okay? And it's the U.S. government, deep state. Okay? It has been. It still is, but Trump's weeding them out, isn't he? He's draining the swamp. We are helping him to drain that swamp. And we're doing it worldwide. And we say now that Iran is next. Okay, and I said this yesterday. Iran will be the next one we clean up and get rid of the deep state. First, we've got to clean up Syria. Okay, we've got to get our troops out of there. Plain and simple. Get our troops out, and we'll go ahead and let Assad, Iran, and Russia mop up the ISIS, mop up the Islamic State. And then there'll be peace again. Okay? And then we'll concentrate on Iran. We'll get the deep state out of there, and we'll bring peace. But before that happens, you're going to see the same thing with Iran that we saw with North Korea. They're going to come out and they're going to start threatening to bomb Israel. They're going to threaten to bomb the United States, nuclear warheads, all that same stuff. Okay? But it's never going to happen. Because that would be the end. Think about that. I mean, seriously. Yeah, there are some crazy people, but, you know, God is in control, right? Not crazy people. Okay, so the terminology, back to the terminology of what we use. We call the owner of our coin, who has remained anonymous, we call him, well, he calls himself Kris Kringle. Okay, why? Because he's gifting the coin away, which makes total sense. And there's another reason that you can know that this is not a scam, that the billion coin, even though it's different, doesn't mean it's a scam. Okay, we've been here 2 years. We're not going away. We've just spent all this time and money building a new blockchain platform to blow everything else out of the water. We are so dead serious about eliminating global financial poverty. We're so dead serious. It's not even funny. We're as serious as Trump and the Patriots. We are Trump and the Patriots. We're just going through another method that we can actually control. Okay, you have to be in certain positions in life to do certain things, but the mass people can get behind a community of people that say, yeah, give me some free coin and I'll watch it go up in value every day, and maybe I'll buy some if there's an opportunity to get more, a huge amount, because you guys are distributing this wealth. And even though a full coin is worth $3.8 million right now, you can get it for $100. We have ways where you can get it for $100 because we are distributing it out evenly. Okay? We are after 1 million billionaires. After we get 1 million billionaires, we will create 1 billion millionaires. And there's going to be multi-millionaires in that group and multi-billionaires in that group. Okay? But the point is, with 1 billion people, we will be able to supply the other 6.5 billion people with all the money they want, with all the abundance they want. Okay? Real money based on people. Okay? So, I think I was talking at one point about this other coin that's coming out from Telegram. Their algorithm is not based on people. It's based on every time someone buys their coin right now, it raises up the coin by a fraction. Since you can divide it by 100 million times, they can just raise it up a little bit. The point is, every single person that buys the coin right now, and the ones who, and we're so knowledgeable now that they have broken all the records for, I guess you would call it investing, people investing in their coins in an ICO, as an initial coin offering. They have made 1.7, is that how you say it? They have taken in or sold their coins $1.7 billion worth. Okay, it's blown every ICO out of the water. And it's because people are now smart enough or educated enough to know where things are going and to understand an algorithm that's based on abundance. They want a coin that they don't have to worry about buying and having it go down. They want a coin that they know every day it goes up in value. Okay? And it will go up in value, right? Because every time somebody buys a little bit, a lot, whatever, of their coin, it raises the price up. It's incredible. Okay? Just like it's incredible what we're doing, and we've been doing it for 2 years. Okay? And the more coins that are based on abundance, the better for all of us in the world. The more, the better. There's no competition. Okay? Here's another thing that goes back to the multi-level marketing speech. Multi-level marketing does compete against each other. Okay? Cryptocurrency, money does not. Okay, but we do use terms that are related to the network marketing industry, like Even though our creator calls himself Kris Kringle, we call him admin. Okay, you hear the word admin, it's short for the administration or the administrator, or, you know, the head person in a lot of multi-level marketing systems. And we do use that term. We use the term admin. Okay, it has nothing to do with network marketing. It's just common sense. Admin. Now, the fact that admin doesn't sell any coin at all. We, the members who buy coin or get coin free and whatever, collect coins by telling other people about the coin, word of mouth. Okay, Bitcoin did the same thing. It was all word of mouth. Okay, so word of mouth is network marketing, right? So the terminology is right there. So it's like when we have a way now where we have a back office, when we started this giving away, they let us keep track of who we were giving it to, basically. And, you know, he would reward us, members of the community, for our efforts in spreading the coin out. Why? Because our algorithm is based on people having that coin, pieces of that coin. You have one Kringle, you're a member. You're a member even if you have none, but you're going to get free. Okay, and that's the way it's set up. Now with this new system that's coming, we're not going to actually deposit real Kringle into your wallet, because we found out, obviously, that a lot of people just kind of forgot about their gift, walked away, forgot what their passwords were and how to get into it, and they're just out there, you know. And the same thing has happened with Bitcoin and probably many of the other coins. Okay, once a coin is just lost, you can't get it back. So since we're moving everything over and starting over, okay, and we're switching the wallets and putting the new coin back into the ones that have coin. Now, when we give a gift away, we're going to give what we call cookies. They're points, and those cookies will be equal to whatever it is we're giving away, or whatever it is we're rewarding you for your efforts, or if you make a certain purchase. Okay, so then they're redeemable. Those cookies are redeemable during a redemption period. Okay, we're having our second redemption period, May 1st till the end of May. So for that whole month, people who have already cookies in their back office, once May 1st comes, they can just push a button and those cookies they'll be on the new wallet system. They'll be migrated over to the new blockchain platform, and bam, they'll put those, they'll put real Kringles into your wallet. If you've got 100 million cookies, that's worth one coin. They'll put a full coin in your wallet, worth $3.8 million right now. That goes up every day, okay, until it maxes out at 1 billion euros, which would be like, I don't know, 1.7 billion US dollars. We need to kind of change that system. But anyway, that's what we're basing it on, because we got to base it on something that people are familiar with and know about. And then everybody knows about the euro, everybody knows about the US dollar. Okay, so so we use terms like, when we give the gift away and you accept the gift, we have your name come into our back office, and you get a back office, and there's a connection there. We actually have your email that you used, and we can write you and say, hey, you know, how's it going? You know, I saw you took the gift, blah, blah, blah. Hey, go over and make sure you learn a little bit about the Billion coin. Go over to our blog. Go over to the main site. Okay, the billioncoin.info. The billioncoin.info. You'll get everything you could possibly want to know about what the Billion coin is. Okay, I don't think there was anybody scheduled out to me today, so I'm going to keep going. And if there was, I can't remember. Anyway, so we use these terminologies. So we call those people that we refer the gift to as referrals. Sounds just like multi-level, doesn't it? Then we call ourselves sponsors. It's a multi-level marketing term. Now, downline, some people have used the term downline because we can see the people that we personally gave the gift to, and then we can see the people kind of who they referred the gift to. Okay, so we can kind of see the second level and the third level. I don't know, how far. I've never bothered to check it because it's not multi-level. But you can call it a downline. But I mean, these terms have always been positive to people who understand multi-level marketing and do it right. It's made a lot of people good money, and it's a great system if it's done right. Multi-level marketing industry is done right. It's given the little person a chance to get into business on their own, get tax breaks, and make a living or make extra money. Okay, but the bad side of it is given a lot of people a bad taste, and these terms to them when they hear it, it's negative. It has this negative connotation to it, so they don't like to hear downline, admin, sponsors, referrals. They don't like to hear those terms. But if you understand that these terms are really good, because especially when it comes to a coin like ours, since we're the only ones that really have part centralization, part control, we can use those words. We do have a community. Do you understand? But that community is private. Okay? It's private. But we have just enough centralization to control. You can't control Bitcoin. You can't control Litecoin. You can't control Ethereum. You can't control Monero. You can't control any of the Dash. You can't control any of that. So how can the people ever become united? How can the people ever come together and say, hey, we've got some power in numbers, but we have to come together and unite, and that's what a community is, right? It's a community of people, and we want the whole world to get involved in our community, the TBC community. Okay, so that's it for the terminology. You'll hear it a lot, and I hope that it doesn't bother or keep people from taking a look at what we have, because we're not multi-level in the term that multi-level marketing is. We don't have a product we're selling or a service we're providing. We are a cryptocurrency, and the more people that own our cryptocurrency, the bigger our community gets. The bigger our community gets, the closer to our own economy we become. This coming year, if we grow 30 times again, we'll be at 85 million people. We will have an economy then, okay? I can guarantee you, everybody in America, merchant, retailer, service provider, is going to accept our coin right there at the register, okay? Because why? Why would they accept our coin and not Bitcoin? Because they can guarantee that the next day their coin's not going to go down because of fluctuation, manipulations of a trading exchange. They're going to know that if they accept it, the next day it's going to go up in value until it reaches our first billion people. You see what I'm saying? It's a no-lose situation. And now with this brand new blockchain 3.0, how can we be stopped? So that's why admin came out with this, hey, we got to get the word out now, people. I mean, we really got to step it up now, because we got to let the people know what is available. We got to let them know that we are a solution to all the poverty, all the stress that this debt-based financial system we're under has brought us. Okay, or has, yeah, it's brought us. I mean, they've been in control in America since 1913, slowly sucking the gold and silver away. But when they took us off this gold standard completely in 71, that's when we really saw, That's when we really started to feel the inflation. Okay, now we're what, $22 trillion in debt to a private bank? That's ridiculous. Why is the country of America, where the Constitution says we are the only country, we are the only people, to make our own money? Why have we been betrayed? Because people can be bought. Duh. Okay? And Woodrow Wilson was bought. Teddy Roosevelt was bought in that election with Taft for his second term, because Taft wanted nothing to do with the Federal Reserve, with the central banking system. But they messed with the election, and Wilson won. And 3 days later, he signed the Federal Reserve Act and betrayed our country. And we have been under that system since then. It's the longest run they've had in America. And they're going to get destroyed now because we've had enough. We don't have a politician in the office. We didn't put a politician in the office. Hillary didn't win. We put a businessman and a deal maker, a master, into office, and now we're getting the work done. Okay? We're getting the work done. Behind the scenes, it's being done. Watch the executive orders that's been put out by Trump against human trafficking, against all these things that the deep state has used for decades to fund themselves. Look at the California border and the Arizona border that have been letting all that happen. Now the wall's getting built, starting with California. Okay? California's screaming. The deep state is screaming. Well, there goes our funds from all the drugs, you know, from all the gun sales, from all the human trafficking. They don't want the wall. They're doing everything they can to fight it. Okay? So things are going down, and they're not going to get stopped. And we're building up all the evidence. We've got it all. We're not telling them, we're not spilling it out yet because we're waiting for the right moment. There's things, a lot of things to do. This central banking system has been around for centuries, really. Its structure is humongous. We're chipping away at it now. Okay? We're chipping away at the foundation of it, so it's going to fall. Okay? But we're backing ourselves up. There's going to be a transition no matter what. The economy has to crash. Okay? Either Trump will keep the narrative or the central banking system will keep the narrative. If they keep the narrative, that transition is going to be horrible. Okay? Horrible. You saw what happened with Venezuela, right? Venezuela, when that system failed. And there wasn't any food on the shelves. People starved. Okay, don't think it can't happen to us. The economy is about ready to go bust in Canada. Okay, in our northern border. It's ridiculous what's going on up there. Just do a little research if you got some time. Anyway, I want to talk about so many things. I wanted to talk about the membership agreement, how simple it is to understand, why our coin goes up. I wanted to talk to you more about what's going on with the worldwide economy right now, today, yesterday. But I've said enough today, so I'll wait till tomorrow. So I can have something to talk about tomorrow. I always get something else. By tomorrow, I'll have a bunch of other information. And then, you know, that's why I'm having fun. But I'm here because I want to spread the news, because I'm passionate about freedom. And having our own money is freedom. Okay? And that is the future. So we as a community are screaming out there now, because we're about to go from a Volkswagen Bug putting along to, you know, Bugatti, whatever the latest Bugatti is, you know, or whatever is the fastest car out there. Okay, hyperspeed. Okay, so now is the time to really realize. So when we're doing 24/7 videos, and those videos remain on the YouTube system, and people look up cryptocurrency or they look up Bitcoin, we've got our tags in there. So you're going to see videos on the side, right? The billion coin. Somebody talking about the billion, somebody in the world. And you're going to listen because you're going to say, what is the billion coin? And you're going to see it. Those of you who are brand new and watching me, that's probably how you found me. My video popped up and you said, what is the billion coin? And I'm going to start titling the billion. I'm going to start titling these videos. Instead of just calling them a live broadcast number such and such, I'm going to actually title what I'm going to talk about that day. I'm going to get more organized. Okay, so I'm not going all over the place because it's driving me crazy. It's probably driving you crazy if you've been listening. That's another thing. I still haven't figured out how to watch my live chat or see my live chat at the same time. I worked on it last night, still couldn't get it, but I think I know how to do it. And I'm going to spend the time tonight. I'm pretty determined to figure that out. It does have to do with having two different windows open. Okay, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so that I will be able to answer live questions. I'll be able to see them while I'm talking and can answer your questions. I'm going to get better at this, okay? I never said I was the best at technology because I'm not. If I need some help on my phone, it's like, Diego, he's in 7th grade. Here, Paul. Okay, but anyway, so I hope you guys got something out of this today. But it keeps coming up, this multi-level marketing, talk, words that people are saying, that sounds like a multi-level, it sounds like a pyramid. They relate multi-level to pyramid. You know how it is, right? So I had to address that. Okay, it's important to know that. And I should have probably named this video. Maybe I could go back and rename it. Go back and edit the title. I don't know if I can or not, but I'll try. But so that it stands out. I need to start doing that. Because that way people can just look at a bunch of my videos and they can say, wait, I like this subject. What is that? He's talking about this here. Boom. And they can just watch that video. Okay. I'm also going to try to make them shorter. Because I know people just don't have time to watch for a whole hour. Okay. A half hour is long enough. Okay. But when I'm passionate about something and I see somebody's video and they're on there for 35 minutes, I'll watch the whole thing. Okay. It just depends on what I'm interested in, what you're interested in. It will depend on what you spend your time on, right? What you prioritize your time with. But really, some of these are too long. And I just keep repeating myself. So I'm going to be quiet now and go away. And you guys have a fantastic night, morning, day, wherever you're at in the world. Okay. And I will talk to you tomorrow. I'm already scheduled for 5 o'clock again. Pretty sure 5 o'clock. Yeah, 5 o'clock. It does look like I'm going up against Dan Lutz again, like I did yesterday. I didn't even know it. But what the heck? Dan Lutz is a great person to watch. Look for Dan Lutz if you get on the billioncoin.info. Look at the tab on the far right side. Yeah, far right side. So anyway, click on broadcast. It says broadcast, and you'll get a schedule. Okay, he's usually on at 7, but the last 2 days it looks like he's been on at 5. But what I didn't realize was he lives in the Philippines. He lives on the other side of the world, so he's ahead of us by a whole day. Okay, so I went up against him yesterday without even realizing it. And he's a day ahead of us. So anyway, all right, guys, I'll let you go. Have fun. See you all on the next video.